Uh, Hello, good evening. So we will wait for 4 more minutes. So we'll start at 7:45 since there are 7 members. So we'll wait a little till your friends join. We'll wait for 4 minutes, right? Okay, doesn't matter. So we'll start. I just want to recap about the educational guidance we did and what are the problems that we discussed about the educational guidance, the students, the educational problems that students have. What are the educational problems that we discussed last week? Parvin, do you remember that the educational problems that we discussed? Kanchana? Sudisha?
Yes, ma'am, we can remember that.
Yeah, what are they? Can you name some?
They have some personal problems like the family problems. Maybe the parents are very busy, and some curriculum problems and peer problems like
Yes,
relationship.
exam phobia. Then
Yes.
tough timetable, heavy workload. Then problems with the memory, large content. Then punishments.
Punishment of the teacher in school.
Given by the teachers. What else?
Noisy classrooms.
Noisy classrooms. Congested classrooms, even that they can't do group work. Even teaching methodology, teaching techniques, teaching style. So if they don't like the way of teaching, that if they don't like the lecture method, that will be a problem. So, so they are educational problems, right? Then you go to the next one. Then we discussed the educational guidance. So educational guidance addresses several educational problems. So if we consider about the educational guidance, that it is not only that educational problems, it's a mix of a lot. It may be psychological problems, then family problems, economic problems. So all these things affect these educational problems. So then it is not only these the problems, they even that bullying by the peers, so that peers problem. So not only the school thing, that outside things also matter for these educational problems. So then so it covers problems with the curriculum, teachers' methods of instruction, teaching methodology, teaching techniques, evaluation methods, the way the students are evaluated. So now we have a system of measuring the memory of the children, how far they can memorize the facts, right? They by heart, then they vomit out at the exam. So their abilities, capabilities, skills are not tested. Then so then this education guidance covers extracurricular activities. The disciplines here is that the subjects, right? The areas, problems with the teachers, right? So then educational guidance is given to students in order to understand their potential related to various fields of education. So then the teachers, now sometimes that they are good at certain areas, but sometimes they are poor at certain areas. There are some children who are very good at mathematics, but they are very poor at some other essential subjects. Right? So they need the guidance of the teachers and sometimes the support of the subject teachers. It helps the students to know various educational opportunities available and to make right choices. Now, sometimes that they have certain competitions, not only in our country, that in outside countries, they have certain competitions. And even inside our country, there are certain opportunities that they have, all island competitions, provincial competitions. So even inside the school, they can have, the students don't know that their capacities sometimes, right? So as an example, now when now in these colleges of education, when they come to the college, that they have to do all arts, singing, dancing, drama. So sometimes they don't know they can do these things. Only once they come here, And when they engage in these only, that they know that they can do these things. So therefore, sometimes these capacities are not identified at schools. So the teachers, it's the teachers' responsibility to identify the talents, abilities, and capacities of the students in order to make the right choices. It helps students to make right choices when it comes to schools, higher education, vocational education, courses, and to select co-curricular activities. Now, sometimes the students, they drop out school before grade 11. And then they just do something, sometimes because of the economic problems, they drop out school. So if they feel that it's no use of coming to school, they can't do anything, they will drop out school. In such cases, teachers should make them aware about other avenues that they can do their studies, right? So if we consider about technical colleges, and there are some youth council courses. So there are motor mechanic, automobile, carpentry, then mason work, right? So then masonry, plumbing, right? Welding, electric work. So there are so many courses they can follow, but even without O-levels. And if they drop out school after O-levels, also there are so many avenues. So they can acquire skills, professional, vocational skills that match to jobs, that they can earn a lot rather than people who are having professional qualifications. Right, then educational guidance helps students to make an educational plan based on their abilities, goals, and interests. So then teachers should make them aware, especially when they select their A-level streams. Sometimes it's very difficult for them to select what to be selected. So parents ask them to do science or maths. So the child doesn't like to do maths or science. The child is interested in arts subjects or commerce subjects. So then the teacher can make the child aware about, because teacher knows the child's capacities, his abilities. So accordingly, the teacher can guide the child to select the correct subject stream at A-levels. So then they can have a plan from the very beginning. You can do commerce subjects, and you can have these targets in your life to become a finance manager or an audit or an accountant. So accordingly, they can clear their path. So by having some plans. Educational guidance helps students to develop good study habits and to adjust to the school environment, right? So sometimes that when the students go to new schools after their O-levels, in order to do A-levels, or else after their scholarships, so it's very difficult for them to adjust to schools, especially when the village children go to these with their high marks at the scholarships exams. When they go to these urban schools, especially Royal, Vishaka, so sometimes they find it very difficult to get adjusted to the culture. There are some certain cultures in the schools, right? If we consider about Anand, it has a different school culture. So Anand, Royal, Vishaka, they have different school culture. So the students who are coming from village schools, who have this poor economic backgrounds, it's very difficult for them to adjust to the school environment, school culture. Even that they are very poor in English, so they can't use English properly. So then they become somewhat backward in their studies. Right, then it helps the students to take part. In such cases, they need educational guidance. Okay, it helps the students to take part in various educational activities and develop social and leadership qualities. So then they can take part in various educational activities in the school. So in some schools, there are so many activities, associations, clubs. If you consider about Toastmasters club to improve their speaking skills. There are so many days, an English day, commerce day, science day, then sports meets, concerts, spelling check activities, debates, right? So there they can get the leadership, they can improve the leadership qualities by leading their teams, right? So there are so many educational activities to develop social and leadership qualities in schools. So even that educational guidance enables students to see their progress, right? So then there are certain evaluations. Now, not only these written tests, sometimes oral tests, some practical activities, so they can see their progress. During the elementary stage, educational guidance helps to prepare students for secondary education, right? So then at the elementary stage, they are prepared for their secondary education. But now with the rat race to pass the scholarships, the students are mostly pressurized to pass the scholarships exam. But after that, the students have the freedom. So they can take part in sports, different activities. In some schools, they have to do at least 2 sports. They have to engage in some extra activities. It's a must. And such, so thus they are prepared for secondary education. Then at the same time, educational guidance helps to identify special needs students, those who have some difficulties. Tell me, we have discussed about the special needs. What are the special needs? What kind of children do you come across in the school with special needs students? Can ban special needs lamai kawuda මොන වගේ අද හම්බ වෙන්නේ කියලා ඉස්කෝලේ?
Children with the Down syndrome.
There are students with Down syndrome. Autistic children, students with autism. If you remember the film Tare Samipar, that where Salman Khan, not Amir Khan was acting, yes, so that he could guide a child with autism when all the teachers were refusing him, scolding him, even he did not have any support from the family. This teacher identified this child, and finally he could identify his talents and show his path. Right. So there are teachers should be skillful to identify the skills and abilities of the children and to read their minds. Now this child had some difficulties. Nobody, even he was in the same class with the other students. Teachers could not identify his needs. Even the family members couldn't identify his needs. He was an autistic child. So finally that sir could, through certain activities. Do you remember what kind of activities he did to mold him? If you have watched that film?
Paintings.
Now, because he had some difficulties in writing letters on the lines. And his numbers are too big. What kind of methods did he use? So he just used sand a plate to write letters, and then he gave the squares to write numbers. Then gradually the squares were reduced to the normal size. Then let him write letters on the lines like that. So he gave lots of activities for the child. He paid individual attention and helped him to overcome his problems. At the secondary stage, it helps the students to understand the subjects they are taught. their importance and relevance, and their relevance to build up aspirations for vocations. Because sometimes there are some students, they select now IT as their basket subjects, commerce, agriculture. So they select these subjects in order to, with the intention of doing for A-levels, right? So you should have, so you have to guide your children. You should give educational guidance, because now these days we are having our interviews for the next batch. So there are some students who have done French and Japanese, and they are coming for interviews to become English teachers. They don't have the necessary qualifications in order to get selected, but they have done so many courses. So rather than paying attention to their O-level English, they have done so many outside courses. So it's not a qualification to be selected at the interview. So therefore, you have to give them educational guidance in order to select their jobs, vocations. Right? Now, if the students have S-pass for mathematics and English, ask them to do their O-levels again, at least for these two subjects, because mathematics, English, mother tongue, they are very, very important. So they have to pass their O-levels with 3 credits out of 6 subjects. So then mother tongue is a must to get through the exam. So if they want to go for a good job, they should have a good pass for English. Then mathematics. So if they have a lower mark at the O-level, ask them to do it again and again until they get a good mark. Because even that we came across some students who have weak pass at their first sitting, but they have got, after several attempts, they have got A passes. So then encourage them. That is called educational guidance. You have to encourage them to do their, complete their educational qualifications in order to go for a job, select a good job. At the tertiary level, educational guidance helps students to know about higher study options, right? So then after finishing their A-levels, now according to their qualifications, they should know what are the options they have. Now, as one option is that colleges of education. Well, these days that there are some students with high score, Z score, but they don't have the basic qualifications, required qualifications. So they are not selected. Whether they have got 3 years, imagine now the child has got 3 years and the child doesn't go to the university. The child wants to join the colleges of education to become a teacher. Maybe because you imagine that the child wants to become an English teacher. So the child has C pass for English, though he or she has 3 A passes. At the A levels, she won't be selected. Therefore, you have to make the children aware the importance of getting a good mark at O levels. They think that getting a good result for general English would help, but it doesn't. We don't consider general English at all. So they need to get a good pass for English, mathematics, even for the primary teachers that they need to pass mathematics and English. They should have at least C passes. But if they have high, a good qualification, so they'll be selected. Those who have minimum, because there's a high competition, big competition, so they should have score good marks. So even for others, other courses, the same, other jobs, or even for other avenues, the same. So they have to have high qualifications. So then, that's why it is essential to have a special guidance unit in the school, because now when they are, even especially now after doing O levels, so before they do O levels, a career guidance workshop can be organized by the school. Or else, even when they are in A levels, career guidance workshop can be organized by the teachers in the school, or we can invite some outsiders to make them aware about different courses they can apply after their A-levels, the qualifications required. So what are the qualifications they can gain after finishing the courses? What are the jobs available? Right? So then if they want to prosper in the job, what are the courses they have to follow now, especially when they do commerce subjects? So they have AAT, CIMA, then you have to guide them. Right. Vocational guidance. What is vocational guidance? Vocational guidance helps an individual to evaluate every job option and choose the right one. So we give vocational guidance for the child to go through all the options, job options. Maybe it may be that teaching or hotel school, the commerce subjects that they have different options in. So then they just evaluate the best job opportunity according to their skills, their interests and abilities, and then they select the best one. So if they go to a job that they don't like, so they don't prosper in the job, as well as they don't do a good job. Right? Example, if a child doesn't like to be a teacher, but if the child enters the colleges of education due to the influence of the parents, so they don't like the job, and when they get the job also, they are not fit into the job and they don't like the job, and they are not satisfied by doing the job. So therefore, you must encourage the children to select a job that they are interested in, that they are capable of, they are good at. Then only they will fit to the job and they will get the job satisfaction. Then they will do it their best. During the elementary stage, it enables the students to identify the world of work and respect every work equally, and develop skills such as cooperation, use of hands, respect the manual work, development of interpersonal relationships. Right. So then think of the subjects they have at this elementary stage and tell me the activities they do. Take about 5 minutes and think, because if you remember the students, those who are in grade 6, 7, they 6, 7, 8, even that they have a certain subject. In that subject, they do lots of activities that guides them to prepare for the secondary stage. Think of the subject and think of the activities they do to improve these skills: cooperation, use of hands, respect the manual work, development of interpersonal relationships. You can think of some activities. Okay. Take about 5 minutes and tell me, what is it? Can anybody talk? Can anybody name a subject that they learn And they do lots of activities there.
Doing science experiments in the subject science.
No. They learn cooperation, use of hands, respect the manual work, development of interpersonal relationships. What's the subject? Do you remember a subject called Prataku? Prayogika Takshanika Kusalata. Practical technical skills. Do you remember a subject like that?
Yes.
Yes. What do they do in that subject? Unada karanne egollo. What kind of activities do they do?
Most hands-on activities
Yes.
by practical.
Yes.
Making electronic circuits,
Right.
gardening.
Preparing.
Yeah, even they do lots of, even they prepare some dishes,
Yes.
fruit salads, sandwiches, puddings, even that they prepare dolls,
Yes,
different handicrafts.
Yes.
Right. So then work that use that woolen thread, knitting, right? So they, when it comes to preparing some dishes, they get together, they cut, chop, and they cook. So they learn to be cooperative, then build up relationships. So as a group, they engage in these activities. So which is essential when they become adults. So this manual work, they use hands-on, that means they use hands to do these things, cutting, pasting, decorating, right? So they develop lots of skills, right?
Madam, this subject has some business studies part also.
So then what kind of things they do in this business studies?
They are doing some fairs like that.
Then transaction, they learn about money, quantities, pramana, that may for 1 kilo, how much they have to pay. Then balance.
Oh, they are learning. Yes.
That's good. That they get the practical knowledge, how to do transactions, how to speak, how to share ideas, how to work together in a team, right? So I remember when we go for that block teaching or internship, so they go from class to class giving these food items to the teachers, serving, right?
They have to make some multimedia like presentations.
My goodness. That means little children that they have to do the presentations also.
Yeah.
That's great. Now tell me some your experiences the students do apart from these things in your school. Yes. Taranga or Tarani?
Yeah, ma'am.
Taranga?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Tell me about some experiences that you give the hands-on experience to your students.
We have some personal hygiene activities that like they work together and find out what is the best way. Then they come in front of the class and describe a way they like for like in primary, like elder, like for year 5, year 4 children go to the small like year 1, year 2 classes and explain how they do the how to wash your hands, like that hygiene activities. And like here we introduce something like student well-being, or we call it well-being lesson or grow well lesson. So there we teach them like how to balance their emotions, how to get used to it, like as you said, like social skills.
Okay, then how to balance emotions? How what kind of activities do you give them?
Mostly we work in like groups or pairs. We'll give one group activity, then like in one topic, like to be patient, then how to take turns, how to like take in turns and explaining to your friend, work in cooperation, those such things.
That's great, because that they from the very beginning they learn, because if they fail to engage in group activities, if they can't work in teams, so when it comes to work, actual work, they won't be able to work with the others. So therefore it should be trained from the very beginning, from the elementary classes themselves. Okay. Right. Then at the secondary stage, vocational guidance can be provided to help students to identify their areas of vocational interest, right? So then now from the secondary stages, now when they are in O-level classes itself, themselves, that they should be prepared for vocations. Then they, by this time, they should be able to select the subjects that they are interested in doing a job. So ICT, agriculture, commerce, literature, English literature, if they want to become an English teacher. So then they, we should guide them, because now the problem we came across these days was, now the children, they have 9 A's. So they have A for English, but they haven't done literature, because this is a qualification if they want to enter this profession. So then many of them, they don't do English literature for the fear, because then if they do English literature, they won't be able to take 9 A's. So they think that getting 9 A's is the most important thing. I have 9 A's, and they say, but when it comes to these things, only they understand the value of doing English subject like English literature, right? So now we have a very big competition. There are so many A's for English, right? So then if there are cases like those who have done English for their A-levels, or if they have a good grade for English literature, they have the advantage. But the students, they don't understand, because they think getting 3 A's or 9 A's, that's the most important thing, right? So that's why they need the educational guidance. If they want to become English teachers, or if they want to become primary teachers, when they are in their O-level classes themselves, the teachers can make them aware, give them educational guidance to think of their future career, right? So then at the secondary stage, vocational guidance can be provided to help students to identify their areas of vocational interest. Now when they are in the secondary stage itself, they should be given career guidance. Now these are the job opportunities available in the world of work. In order to get these jobs, you need these qualifications. So in order to gain these qualifications, you should have these basic qualifications, and you have to follow these courses. So like that, they should be made aware, right? Then at this stage, vocational guidance can help the students to take the right decision related to their career. So then even when they are in their O-level classes itself, they can decide their career. Right. Now, some of the students that they don't like to do A-levels. After doing their O-levels, they go for some courses. They get the professional, even NVQ, National Vocational Qualification, that they get that qualification and go for jobs, rather than wasting 2 years at the A-levels. Then, at the tertiary stage, vocational guidance must be provided to students to inform them about the various career options available. Now, right? So it is a must to give now, otherwise they just can't identify the best job, best opportunity for them. Yes, I say, what is that? Okay. Right. So then at the tertiary stage, vocational guidance must be provided to students, because then only they will think of, sometimes they don't know, even when I was in my O-levels, that I didn't know about these colleges of education. Otherwise, I would have applied. So then, so there are certain students, they don't know certain qualifications. Now many are open to this career world, therefore they know, but some they don't know. Therefore, there should be a guidance unit in the school to make the students aware, or else the teachers can invite some outsiders to make the children aware about the world of work. Even I remember that once we took some students to one of the fairs in the BMICH. They are that from the soft logic, I think that the engineer, I don't know, the officer, that he said there are nearly 5,000 vacancies for these ICT jobs, but no proper candidates to do these jobs. So even they have the qualifications, but they don't have the soft skills or the necessary skills, that when they interview, that they don't have the necessary skills that they require. They have so many certificates, but they are not fit to the job. Therefore, we have to give them soft skills, then sometimes training to give them abilities and qualifications to fit to the job, right? Not only that certificate. So sometimes they have this piece of paper, so-called qualification, but they are not capable of doing that, doing the job, right? So then we can take them to these EdExcel, Expo. So then they make them aware about the job opportunities available, the courses they can follow, the qualifications they can gain after following the courses, right? Otherwise, these children won't be able to find the correct choice. Even that now, if you consider about NITA, NIBM, so after following the courses, they have 6 months training, right? So it also gives them some qualifications to go for jobs, right? Then vocational training must enable the students to choose the right career option and develop the essential skills that assist to prepare them to enter the career field selected by them, right? So now we consider about, if we consider about LabTech, Lalita Traduli Vocational Technical College. Technical colleges, there are 37 or 36 technical colleges in the country, and German Tech, right? VTA, Vocational Training Authority. There are so many institutes that give vocational training. So then children can get even they don't have that high qualifications, they can select the course according to the available qualification and follow them. Even hotel schools, that they prepare these chefs, stewards. So there are so many jobs, right? And even they have so many job opportunities in other countries, Saudi, Maldives, right? So they have to undergo the training, vocational training, and develop the essential skills that are required by the jobs. Okay. Now look at here. Now there's a case study. Yeah. Right? අයියෝ ඒ මොකද බලමු අපිට මේ I'm just finding these IELTS breakout rooms are available, right? How many are there? 8 are there. Right. I will put you into 7. 7 can be. Okay, I'll put you into 2 groups. So you have to discuss. I will give you 10 minutes. You have to discuss and find the answers for these 3 questions, right? There are 2 questions. Okay, I'll put you into 2 groups and I will give you 10 minutes. Okay. So in the first group, Sudisha Taranga Lienage in the second group, Farveen, Kanchana, Tarani, Manohar. Right? You all get together and discuss. 10 minutes. Will it be enough? Girls? Will that be enough?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, right. What's that? Taranga? Are you in groups? Kanchana and Tarani, you couldn't join the group. Farveen?
Ma'am, yeah, ma'am. The thing is, we couldn't take the question, at least the screenshot we couldn't take. So now
Ah.
only we have taken a screenshot for that. So
Okay.
shall we go back to the breakup rooms again?
Okay, okay, wait.
Sorry, ma'am.
Join room 1. Yes. Okay. Right. We'll discuss. Where are the others?
Yeah, ma'am, I also just left the meeting and come back. I can't find anyone.
Where is that?
Farveen is here.
They are joining. There are 4 now.
Ma'am, we couldn't talk as a team.
Ayyo. Why is that?
I was searching. The Kanchana was not there. Then Farveen was there, but she can't hear me what I'm saying. No, I just.
They have got power cuts, no?
Maybe, ma'am.
Yeah.
This time is.
Yeah. Okay. There are 4. Anyway, that we'll discuss. It often feels like students in higher grades have deteriorated discipline. So now we always complain now, see the discipline of these children. So it has been deteriorated. Weak attitudes. Right? They don't have good attitude. They have no positive attitudes, no values. They don't respect the elders. They even don't protect the things in the school. And even disciplinary, that when we take about their discipline, they don't behave well. So we complain. If so, the responsibility of teachers is to find ways to address that. Right? So then the best thing is teachers should find why do they behave like that. Children of that age also have problems. This is youth. They are concerned about the physical attributes. Their psychological needs are different. This is a conversation in a staff room. Number 1, what does it mean by physical development related problems of adolescence? What do you mean by? So what were the answers you identified? Physical development related problems.
Ma'am, actually, that they are step onto their puberty, so this stage is very it marks very great changes in their physical body.
Yes.
So sometimes they may get voice changes, and some differences can seen from their private areas, and more than getting pimples and all.
Good. Yeah, that's great. So that it's a stage where physical growth takes place fast. Yeah. So then there's a curiosity regarding the changes in the body. Now they are very curious because there are some children who get these characteristics very rapidly, but they are still very skinny and thin children. They have not gained after puberty. That who get puberty first, girls or boys?
Girls.
So they become plump and beautiful, and their skin color becomes nice, and they are concerned about their hair and even the uniform. They iron them. So then they totally change. So then their physical growth takes place fast. So when it comes to boys, also the same. Then there's a curiosity regarding the changes in the body. Now sometimes they are curious. Those who do not have also, that they repent, he has a small mustache, I don't have, like that. Right. Then, okay, when it goes to second one, state 2 psychological needs of secondary school students with examples. So their psychological needs are, they seek for love and attraction from the opposite sex. So they try to get the attention. That's why the girls, that they iron their uniform without even a single crease. They like to keep their hair nicely. They consider about their skin color, and they don't like to go to sun. They don't like their skin to be burnt in the sun. Right? They have so many concern about their beauty. And so they like to be smart and outshine. They like to get leadership. They like to get the acceptance by others. Then they like to do experiments and investigations during this period. Then they don't like to obey rules and regulations, especially from the home. They like to be independent. They think that they can take decisions now. So they like to form friendly groups.
Yes.
So they like to follow various fashions.
And they like much of peer pleasure than the adults and the teachers.
Yes, they like peer pleasure, right? And they like to take leadership. They like to have gangs, right?
Yes.
Okay, third one, describe 3 strategies that can be implemented in the classroom to connect the secondary level students to the learning process actively. So what can be done to connect them to the learning process?
We can appoint monitors for the subjects.
What's that we can apply? Yes.
No, ma'am, I told that we can appoint a monitor for like once a week. We can appoint one monitor for the one subject.
That giving leadership.
Yeah, through that he will come up with the ideas, and we can see the potentials, and he may actively participate in the subject as well as their team or whatever the group activities.
That means giving opportunities to bear leadership and entrusting responsibilities.
Yes.
Yes. What else? Giving lots of group activities, giving opportunities to work together in groups, right? We can give lots of group activities to engage in studies. Then in the whole group, they have to engage. So as I gave you now these group activities, they can engage and find answers, right? So they are given some hands-on experience. Then they can be given some explorative learning opportunities. They have to surf the internet and find something and do it in groups. What else? They do the presentations. Then that we can provide opportunities for them to exhibit their findings, their creations, their playlets, dramas, poems, stories, right? Okay. So then we can ask them to do wall magazines, debates, right? Then at the same time, we can provide them effective reinforcement, like, okay, well done, you have done a superb job. So then we can award certificates, right? Then we can reward for various competitions without harming their friendships, right? So now imagine that they work in group, and so then we can give them some reward, right? Okay, good. Okay. Aims of guidance. I think that the number has gone down because of the P.Ed. Right. Okay. Yeah. So normally, how many students are there in your group?
Normally, ma'am, I can remember very first days I have seen like 20, maybe 18 like students. And gradually it's going down.
That's right. So are you sent the video? The video means that no, the lesson, day's lesson. Can you take
YouTube? I have gone, ma'am. Once I couldn't participate for the session, so I have gone there. That is really effective.
Yes, right.
But I don't know whether it may encourage students not to come to the sessions, maybe.
But anyway, that now if you take part in these sessions, you can ask questions, you can actively engage, you can get things clarified. So that's advantage rather than watching a video. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So if you don't understand anything, you can get it clarified at the very moment and you can get it cleared. Okay. Okay. Aims of guidance, Kothari Commission. On the basis of the need of guidance at various stages of life and education, the Kothari Education Commission has specified the following aims of guidance at the secondary school level. Now, we need guidance at every stage, from the elementary stage to the secondary stage, tertiary stage. Now, these are the guidance, the aims of guidance given for the secondary school stage, right? It helps the adolescents to know about their skills and abilities and develop them in an effective manner, right? So then the guidance helps the adolescents to know about their skills and abilities. Now, when they are given certain activities, right, maybe a practical activity, a sports, or they are given concerts. So in these things, the teachers can identify their skills and abilities. So then teachers can guide them to develop them in an effective manner. It enables students to understand their strengths and weaknesses. So then by engaging in these activities, when they are given so many opportunities, they know what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses. So they can, if they have certain weaknesses, they can develop them through various activities. It helps the students to do school-related activities according to their abilities and skills. So then, as an example, so they engage in literary association. So there they learn, they engage in dramas, then telling stories. So they get the opportunity to do presentations. So in the morning assembly, also they take chances to do speeches, do performances. So there they can identify their strengths and weakness. Sometimes there are students, they can sing very well, but they are scared. So then, because of the stage fear, they can't perform. So they can improve that weakness, right? That means now they can overcome that habit. Then it helps students in making educational and vocational choices which are realistic or achievable. Because sometimes some children have some unrealistic aspirations. They can achieve කරගන්න බැරි ඒවා තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ ගාව තියෙන සමහර වෙලාවට. So they think, no, I want to be a doctor, but he's very poor in science subjects. I want to be a pilot, but in order to be a pilot, that he should be economically also strong. So then sometimes they have certain aspirations they cannot achieve. So in such cases, the teachers should make them aware to have aspirations or the future ambitions they can realize, they can achieve. Now, therefore, teachers should make them aware about their abilities, their skills, and guide them to select the correct vocational choice accordingly. Next one, it aims at helping students in acquiring information about various educational opportunities. So, now as I told you before, school can organize a career guidance workshop to make the students aware about different courses, first of all, the jobs available in the world of work, job market. And what are the qualifications they require? Job qualifications, right? Now, as an example, if the teachers want to go abroad, so they need certain qualifications. Qualifications. So like that, they can be made aware about different courses, the qualifications they gain, what are the jobs they can do with those qualifications. So then they will take the correct decision on what courses to follow and what jobs they are available for them. Then to help the students to adjust to their personal as well as social space and environment. So then by giving some group activities, they learn to listen to others, work with others, then sharing their knowledge, right? Respecting others' ideas without dominating, because some children, they want to dominate the group. So without doing so, the students, they learn to share. So like that, they learn lots of skills. So they get adjusted to the society, right? So they adjust to their personal as well as social space and environment. To help the school authorities to understand the potential of students so that the educational programs can be designed and delivered in an effective manner, right? So there are some students that we know that the students, they have different learning styles. What are the learning styles the children have? What are their learning styles?
By listening.
Learning styles. අපි ඉගෙන ගන්න ක්‍රම තියෙනවා එක එක අපිට ගැලපෙන. What are they? Auditory. There are auditory learners. That means they like to learn by listening. There are visual learners. They like to learn by watching. They need the teacher. teacher dakinno ne egolanta igena ganna. So they are visual learners. They need visual aids. They like to watch films or some things and they learn. Then there are kinesthetic learners. They learn by doing. So there are children with different learning styles. So then the school authority should understand the potentials and their needs. Accordingly, the educational programs can be designed. Now, if children don't like the lecture method, then no use of doing the lecture method. So we can give a variety of experiences. So we can start with the video, then a group activity, then a pair work, then a whole class activity. So like that, we can give them lots of activities to engage in. Okay. At the higher education stage, Crow and Crow have listed, here Crow and Crow means two crows. Crow and Crow have listed the following aims of guidance. Guidance aims to help the students choose the curriculum according to their abilities, interests, and future needs, right? So as an example, for O levels, some of the students, they have done IT. So then at the A levels, IT as a basket subject, at the A levels, they have selected IT as their main subject, right? Right. So then, some students, they do commerce subjects at the O level as the basket subject, business accounting, right? And they take commerce subjects at the A levels. So like guidance aims to help the students to choose the curriculum according to their abilities, interest, and future needs, right? Even that they can take the basket subject at the O levels with the intention of taking the same subjects at their A levels. Okay. Then it enables students to develop work and study habits which guide them towards success. Right. So then study habits means now even they can prepare a plan to study. Right, they can prepare a plan, and so this number of hours I study during the. Sudisha in room 1 asked for help. Kamya room ekeda. Sudisha, where is she?
That's why I sent a message to close the breakout. I told her to leave the breakout room, but I think she's still there.
Ne.
I sent you a message. I think you didn't see it.
Sudisha.
If you can close the breakout room, she can come. Otherwise, she needs to leave by herself.
So all this time you were in the breakout room. Right, okay. Now here, I told you that at the higher education stage, Crow and Crow have listed the following aims. Guidance aims to help the students to choose the curriculum according to their abilities, interest, and future needs, right? So especially that higher education means that when you, like you all, right? So when they, if you want to do B.Ed, that means it helps you to become teachers, or that it's a qualification that enhances your profession. So then it helps the students to choose the curriculum according to their abilities, interest, and future needs. Then it enables students to develop work and study habits which guide them towards success. So then if we consider you, now you you have your job, you have family concerns, then you should spare time to study. So therefore you have to have some certain timetable. Now I will spare 2 hours per day. Now you need to spend 2 hours for these lectures, right? So like that you have some study habits or some plans in order to do your higher studies. And so it encourages students to understand the purpose and the function of the school in fulfilling their needs. If we consider about the school children, so they have to have a plan, timetable to do their studies. If they do so, if they stick to the timetable, and they will manage their time to do their studies, right? So then it encourages students to understand the purpose and the function of the school in fulfilling their needs, right? Because there are some students, they just come to school just to complete grade 11. No purpose. So they don't do their studies, they don't take part in activities, they just want to leave the school after grade 11. But there are certain students, so they come with a purpose. So they have certain aspirations in completing their studies. Right? Okay. Guidance aims to help students in finding out what the school has to offer in terms of study plans, right? So then even they can be guided to make the study plans. Now we discussed a case study last week that the child who has never failed any exam, but the child has failed the A-level exam, or he thinks that it is the end of the world. That's the only option he has. So in such cases, teacher can help the child to have a study plan, even to do A-levels or do some other courses, right? So that it is not only the A-levels, right? So then guidance aims to help students in finding out what the school has to offer in terms of study plans. It facilitates the student to identify the schools that they may want to attend to acquire higher education. So sometimes after O-levels, they go to some other schools for their A-levels because that subject is available in that school. If they want to do ICT, that these ICT subjects are available in some schools and they don't have in some other schools. Therefore, they go to those schools. If they want to do languages, they go to those schools where the language courses are available. It aims to help the students to select and try out various courses that they are interested in, right? That is also the same. Now we have 13-year education. Those who have failed their O-levels, they can continue 13-year education. So there they have fashion designing, agriculture, and there are so many courses, right? So now earlier the children, they get a vocational training, right? So it's a good thing. Sometimes the students who cannot pass mathematics, they have to drop out school, they can't do their A-levels. But according to this 13-year education, the students can continue their studies though they fail certain subjects, right, without dropping out school. Then, because during before Corona, that we trained some graduates in our college, we gave them a professional training. So there was teachers for different subjects, agriculture, fashion designing, electric work and all that. They are teachers. Okay. Then it aims to help the students in developing leadership qualities by allowing them to participate in various school activities. We discussed that organizing trips, days, English day, science day, commerce day, exhibitions, concerts, sports meets. So they get the leadership and they learn their capacities, their strengths. It aims to help the students to develop and maintain fitness levels that can help them to continue their studies. Also, it's also there. They know that for which subjects I am good at. So if the student is poor in mathematics, so he has to improve that subject. So get some extra tuition or extra guidance, especially English. because most of the students that if they poor in English, they give up. English right? So it affects for their jobs. Guidance enables the students to develop an attitude to continue their studies in the chosen educational institution, right? So then even the child cannot continue their A-levels. That means maybe that he has failed during the first child. And then if he thinks that no use of doing A-levels again, he can join one of the career guidance institutions and continue. Even now, those who fail O-levels, they can earn the NVQ qualification and go for A-levels. එහෙම තියනවාද? එහෙම ඔයගොල්ලන් දන්න students ලා ඉන්නවනම් කියන්නේ ඔකට O-level pass කරගන්න බැරි වුණා නම් so they can go to these vocational training institutes. Government approved ඒවා වෙන්න ඕනි. So they can follow NVQ, National Vocational Qualification. With that qualification, they can go for A-levels. Therefore, so there are so many opportunities now. The world is open, so the students don't need to worry that they don't need to enter the university and wait until they are selected to the university. There are ample opportunities now, right? And jobs everywhere, not only in Sri Lanka, in other countries. So you can guide your students to these avenues rather than just dropping out school and driving a three-wheeler, waiting hours and hours, wasting their time and labor. So guide them to follow these courses and get professional qualifications. Okay, aims of guidance. So we discussed earlier also. So the main aims of guidance are to help the individual in realizing his or her potentials and to make maximum contribution towards the society. That should be the guidance. Their maximum contribution to the society. So that is why they need guidance. They should realize their abilities, potential. Guidance. So therefore, you have to guide them to select the best courses that match with their abilities, potentials, skills, and to prosper and to select the best job and prosper in the job. It aims to help the individual to solve his problems and make proper choices and adjustments. Right? So then if they have problems, personal problems, vocational problems, career problems, peer problems, then guidance help them to solve these problems and take the correct choices and adjust to the environment. It supports the individuals to lay a permanent foundation for sound and mature adjustment. So guidance help them to get adjusted. Now, as an example, sometimes when the children go to certain schools, they can't get adjusted to the school, the environment. There they need the guidance of the teachers. To help the individual to live a well-balanced life in all aspects. So guidance is needed to lead a well-balanced life physically, mentally, emotionally, and socially. So in order to have a balanced life, we need guidance. At the primary level of guidance, not much formal guidance is needed. At the primary level, if the children have, so now here, what kind of problems do the primary children have? Primary babalat. Yes.
They have some insecure feeling when they leave their parents and all.
Then
And heavy curriculum, like very first. And
right.
some
even language problems, mathematical concepts,
yes.
they can understand mathematical concepts, poor memory power, right? So getting adjusted to the peers, because there are some children that they are the only child in the family. So then they can't get adjusted to the school situation to work with peers. So that child wants everything to him or herself. They don't like to share with others. They don't like to work with others. There are some children like that, right? So then so they need that kind of guidance, not the formal guidance. So they need friends. So that can be done when they are engaging in groups, right? So find relationships. Sometimes they take time to get adjusted to the environment. They cry because it is not, it is an alien place to them. So they are not adjusted to the environment. It takes time. So what a teacher right? Then at the secondary and higher stages, students need formal guidance from teachers, trainers, and professional counselors. They need formal guidance. Formal guidance means what subjects to be selected for A levels, how to get ready for A level, even for O levels and A levels, how to get ready for the exams, how to select the correct A level streams. So after finishing A levels, if they are not selected at the university, what kind of courses they can follow, what kind of qualifications they can gain, how can they write complete applications, right? Job applications, how to write a cover letter, then how to face interviews. So all these things can be made aware to the students through professional counselors or career guidance workshops. Right? Aims of vocational guidance. It aims at assisting the student to acquire knowledge of the characteristics and functions, the duties and rewards of the occupation of his choice. So vocational guidance is mainly to help them to select the best career that fit to them, that fit to their strengths, their abilities, and the skills. So once they select a job, we can help them to find the correct courses and help them to acquire the correct qualifications. Then once they get into the job, we can help them to tell what kind of qualifications they should gather to get promotions. Right? And as an example, in teaching, that you can do a degree related to the subject. Imagine now you are an English teacher, so you can do a degree according to the subject, that means English subject, or else you can do an education degree. Now you're doing that education degree. Then you can do, if you do B.Ed, you don't need to do a postgraduate diploma, then you can do a master's degree. So from the master's degree, that even then there are certain job opportunities you can apply for, a principal's post, director post, lecturer posts, right? Then you can seek for these avenues. Then you can learn what are the qualifications they require in order to apply for these jobs, right? So then vocational guidance enables students to find out about the general and specific abilities and skills required for a job or a vocation, and also acquire information about the qualifications, age, and preparation, and other factors required for the specific job. So that is what I discussed. As an example, if I talk about English teaching, since I know about it. So if they want to enter the colleges of education, they should be less than 25 years age. Their age should be less than 25. Now this year, we interviewed the students, those who were born after 96. From 96, January 1st, all the students who were born. Then they need the specific, that means they need the qualifications, basic qualifications. So first, the requirement is English as a subject at the A-level exam, if they have passed English as subject. Second one, a higher qualification in English and literature at least C. Then the third category, A or B. So then there are some students that actually, it's very unfortunate, there were many students who have come for the interview with the C pass. They have very good score at their A levels, but for English, they have a C pass. So therefore, we have to make the children aware at the very beginning. If you want to become teachers of colleges of education, these are the qualifications. If you want to become a finance manager, these are the qualifications. If you want to an audit, these are the qualifications. If you want to become a lawyer, these are the qualifications. Then, if I talk about the path, now imagine now you are teachers, then what are the qualifications you can collect, you can gain in order to prosper in your job? So now you have the B.Ed qualification, then you can go for M.Ed, then M.Phil, PhD. So you can apply for certain jobs. Now, for the lecturer post of the colleges of education, you need to be a government teacher and you have to be less than 35 years old in order to apply for the job. So there are requirements. You have to sit for a test, aptitude test. Then you have to do a presentation, right? So like that, there are so many ways that you can enter this profession, right? So then, through vocational guidance, children are made aware about the qualifications required for a certain job, the age limit, how to prepare for the job, and other required factors for the specific job. Next one, to enable the students to experience work conditions in and out of the school. Now, as I told you that NITA, NIBM, so after finishing their course, they give a training to these children. So they get practical knowledge about the work environment. Sometimes they work in the telecom, in the banks, right? So they work in different offices, right? This enables the individual to develop the essential skills and abilities for the job. Then it aims to help the individual realize the importance of hard work, right? So when they go for training, they learn that we have to work hard. We have to complete these targets. So we have to work for the development of the institute. Now, if you got a complaint in government institutes, they don't work. They just go late to the work, then they start eating. So after they read newspapers, they don't attend to the people who come to get the service. So rather than that, we have to teach them. So you have to work hard, then only you will prosper in your job. Right? Even it's the same in teaching. We consider teaching as a job that gives you the blessing, not only for you, even for your children. Blessing right? Then it enables an individual to gather vocational information and to analyze the information in a critical manner so that a final decision about a vocation can be taken. Now, especially if they are given vocational guidance, so they learn about different jobs, the required qualifications, what are the jobs available for the qualifications, how can they earn that qualification. Then they evaluate, now for which job that I am suitable. Fit making. So whether can I follow a hotel school course, or whether I can follow AAT course, or whether I can follow a computer hardware course, a software course, like that. They can evaluate, they can analyze the information, and according to their interests, their abilities and skills, and they take the best choice. Right. So we have 15 minutes more. There is another case study. Vocational guidance. Right. Right, okay. Make question up next day. Right. Avocational guidance. So this is also very important. Now, avocational guidance is that is outside your school. The time a student spend at home or in other activities other than the time spent in the school. So then you have to use this time in an effective manner. So it can contribute the optimal development of the student, right? So then tell me what kind of activities you can do at home to use your time in an effective manner. What kind of activities you can do at home? That means to use your leisure time in an effective manner. How can you use your leisure time in an effective manner? Okay, tell. At home, you can do home gardening, right? So that it enables you to know the technology that you use in home gardening, how to prepare the plot, the soil, how to put manure, that how to look after the plants, right? So you learn to get a profit by working hard on that. Or else you can start a small business at home. Business, online business. You can start a small business, sewing some clothes, knitting, or making some handwork, handicrafts. You can use your time, leisure time in an effective manner. Then even you can engage in sports. You can play badminton, cycling, swimming, right? So it is also kind of spending your time in an effective manner, right? Vocational guidance is essential as co-curricular activities plays an important role. The co-curricular activities again by the vocational guidance in the development of the students. It helps the students choose the right activities in which they can use their energy as well, right? So you can use your energy in order to earn some money, or else you can use your energy to improve your health, right? Improve your health. Okay. This type of guidance enables the individuals to participate effectively in co-curricular activities and help them to develop interpersonal skills and widen their outlook, right? Even you can, as an example, if you play cricket or LA, or you play some sports like volleyball, football, badminton. So you develop interpersonal skills. Right? So widen your outlook. Right? So then vocational guidance is apart from what you learn in the school, just like similar to co-curricular activities, the activities you can do at home to spend your leisure time in an effective manner. Maybe that it's kind of earning, or a sport that improve your fitness, right? So this can be one of them, or even many. Even you are doing a business and earn money, and also you do some sports activities. Okay. Right. Then this last one, got the A. Give me one time. Did we discuss about this? Aims of, okay, we did. Vocational guidance, right? Okay, last one. Let's see. Okay. Discussed. Did this. Right, this, we did this vocational. Did we discuss about this? It enables us students to identify skills, abilities related to specific vocation or occupation. Did we discuss about this? Do you remember? All right, okay. Right. after okay, right. So then we discussed all except this question. So I will give this question next week. Now tell me, up to this, is there anything you want to get clarified? So if you want to give some ideas.
Ma'am, that aims of guidance from there, I don't have that note with me. That Kotari Commission.
Okay, I'll send this. I'll send this. Okay, I think I added some notes to this slide. I will send it today itself to Mr. Richard. Then you can get them. Okay. So we can discuss this question next week, right? What else you need to know? Do you give vocational guidance to your students in the schools? That help them prepare for the future career? None of you do? Not, that means not you, that in your schools? Even when you are studying that, was there a unit called guidance unit or counseling unit?
We do. We have career fairs and university fairs in schools once a year, and we have different unit for the career guidance.
Okay, what kind of career guidance you give for your students?
I have not much clear idea about it because I'm not involved in that area. But like we have what do you call university fairs, then the different universities available here in mostly the private universities, they comes here and they update the kids. And in career guidance, when it comes to secondary, as you said, we have different sections like we have designing section, even the wood carpenters for top, and IT, different all the handful activities they can select even for the A levels and A-level subject as A-level subject.
Okay, that means practical courses. Okay,
Yes,
that's great. Yes, even some countries, they have universities for even carpentry. So we have only the technical colleges, this carpentry and masonry. So they have separate universities to excel their abilities and talents. So that's a must, I think, because now most of the students that they like to do white collar jobs, just to sit on a chair and do the work. But we need more skilled people to do the work in a country, right? So then for that, they need good training. Good training should be given to the students in order to get their workforce to match the economy of the country. Right now in our country, if you consider about most of the students who have done their A levels in art subjects, so they don't have job opportunities. They can go as clerks. Even when they go for as clerk, they are unable to write letters properly. So then they learn about this Gira Sandesh and all these things. They by heart and pass the exams, but there are these skills that match with job. So then we have to think about this. It's high time that we need new reforms in education in our country. So it's better if we can have these vocational training institutes collaboration with the schools for those students who are not good in their academic work. So then they will follow these vocational courses from O level itself, and they will have a good training, they will improve their skills. So rather than just having this exam-oriented education, the student should be given some kind of training, vocational training, in order to match the economy with the education. Right? Any other idea that you can give regarding how our education should be changed to match the economy of our country? So they pass these degrees and they request the government to give them jobs. So the government give them teaching and clerical jobs. Sangwar Nilidari, DOs, the development officers. Then after that, the government complains, it's a burden to the government. They give jobs for these thousands of graduates, that's those who have done these subjects and their skills don't match to the requirements of the job. Then again, they say it's a burden. Right? So how do you feel about how should our education be changed to match the economy of the country? Hello? No idea? Give your ideas. Being youngsters, that we need your ideas. Now the young people should give your views about how, because you are the people who are the fresh blood who would take the future of the country. So you should have some kind of idea on how should this the path, the direction of the country, the path. Okay, tell. No idea? Karanga, that
Yeah.
you are working in a country, no, working in another country.
Yes.
What's the country you're working?
I work in Dubai. So
Yeah.
like we like more practical, like more handful activities. Like if we like choose like compared with like our countries, like lots of different areas we can choose for A levels. Like if you choose like science extreme, then you like if you want to be a nurse or a doctor, then you get into like if during your A levels, you have to have handful experience in a hospital. They send them to like kind of even even want to be a like what do you call it, audio. So they send them to the radio stations to practice over there. They get a time period like 3 months. They need to get the practice over there. So it's like more practical knowledge that they gain. Then like it's like vocational training. Then they have clear picture that which area they're going to develop their career.
Okay. Then easily they can find jobs after leaving their schools.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Parani, do you have any idea?
Yeah, I think in Sri Lanka, there are very limited resources are going through the students. That means I mean poverty. So I think as the government, they should look after the people who can't afford their basic needs. Through that only we can start to give the proper education, I guess, because without food, without shelter, they are not thinking about the education always. So I think we have to touch that ground level, then only we can build up their education and all. And that is my view.
Okay. So don't you think that the teachers also have a responsibility?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. I think if we can, because we are in Colombo, if we can go to the rural areas and give our services to them free of charge, and especially we can educate the parents, like kind of a small counseling session, like a family counseling. And we can talk to the father and the mother of the students, and we can encourage them to keep them kids up, kind of things. As teachers, actually, we are willing to go kind of things. But sometimes from the schools, we don't have kind of opportunities, ma'am, because of financial issues.
Apart from that, because sometimes these Columbus schools, they have programs with the rural schools. They bring these necessities, that means books, stationery and bags. Now I remember that now here that there's one Museus College. It's a in Kalutara, so that Museus students from Colombo, they brought stationery, books. That means the stationery, shoes, bags, and other items for these students. So like that, I think there are certain programs organized by the Colombo schools to these rural schools. So along with that, even now here in our country, those students, those who are below 14, I think 16 years, everybody should have their education, the right for education. So teachers can look into the matters if the students get absent. So teachers can then go to their homes and see why they are not coming. So I remember that recently at Paduk area, the principal and the teacher, they have gone to their home because these 3 students, they did not come to school. So the parents have told her because of the economic problems, they can't send them to school. Right? So the police that they have involved in this, and they have promised to provide them basic needs, and they have made arrangements to send them to schools. So like that, even the teachers also have a responsibility. The students are not coming to schools. The teachers should look into these matters. That means why they are not coming, and so then find sponsors so that they should try to get them to schools. Okay, right. So then we will discuss further next week. So thank you for joining. So if you have any problem, so you can we can discuss next week, right? I'll send this presentation to you along with the next presentation, right? Okay.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. Thank
Good
you.
night, Miss.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.